they've built a roller coaster.
It's just the drop.
Oh my God.
To take Bryce and Justice and then have them be dropped down. It's the only way that you're going to get that performance on their faces.
Into the water?
A behind-the-scenes look at Bryce Dallas Howard making her character and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom come to life.
We're back on Accent Live with co-host Nina Parker, comedian and radio show host Mike Catherwood. Okay, we begin with this scene. You're in some kind of roller coaster thing and then into a ball, into the water. And is it true you blacked out on one of the takes?
I did.
No!
I did.
I am so afraid of roller coasters, and the only person who really knew this was Justice Smith, who was in the scene with me. But yeah, I mean, it was so fast, and they did it purposely so that we would become weightless for a moment. So it was like we were just dropping at this crazy rate, and yeah, one of the takes, I was screaming, screaming, and then just like. Just totally lost it.
And you plunged into the water for real? That wasn't.
Well, the roller coaster went down, and then the actual plunge into the water was all shot on a soundstage in the UK at Pinewood Studios, and it was just this giant tank of water, and they had us, sink in real time. Yeah, somewhat. Like, it wasn't. It was this. What you're seeing now, but
I'm
not like
freaking out. There's water coming up to your neck. I'm not good about this.
We learned how to scuba dive in order to do it because we had to actually stay underwater for hours.
Right, I slip in the shower, so I don't know how this is happening with you. Now, are you, because I always thought these are obviously stunt doubles, but you guys are doing a lot of this yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that we, as actors, we work really closely with the stunt team in order to rehearse these scenes, in order to perfect them, and in order to get it to a place that we as performers have the endurance to be able to perform the stunts. But the stunt doubles are super involved at every single step of the way. So it's really a team
there was
thing.
no stunt double with you running in your heels. And I want to break this down because we've talked about it 1,000 times. But people at home, you know what I'm talking about. Your legs look better in heels. It elongates, calf definition. It's like, I am never going to wear flats. Like, you just look better.
Well, it made perfect sense. And especially, it's funny that you're saying that, because for the first scene in Fallen Kingdom, I'm not on the island, I'm in an office, Claire's in an office, the dinosaur protection group, and it was written for me to wear sneakers, and I was just like, absolutely not, because I'm in an office. I'm like, I'm gonna wear some stilettos, like maybe not stilettos for the office.
Heighten a little bit.
Yes, elongate. Yeah,
I think we're gonna put Mike in some heels for our puppet game later. We're gonna have a little sprint off.
Well, I was disappointed that I was the only one that didn't get the elongated calves.
I know. I'm so sorry. It's not fair.
How are your kids doing when you're on tour? I know it gets long.
Yeah, they're super excited about the movie, so that's good. They know what, they're enthusiastic, and they know what I'm doing, and they're excited about it, and they're excited to hear about it every day. They're gonna be excited to hear that I saw blue today here while shooting this. But I just called my daughter in the dressing room, and her first question was, when are you coming home? And then her second question is, what are you bringing me?
You said something good. Okay, I'm gonna deliver.
Speaking of kids, though, the movie, what age do you think it is appropriate? Because it's a suspenseful film.
And I'm a grown woman.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's a choice that each parent needs to make. The movie is rated PG-13. For me, just to share specifics, my daughter's not going to be seeing it. She's 6 years old. My son is 11. He's going into 6th grade. He is going to be seeing it. So, it's something that, everybody needs to assess. It's definitely got jump scares, and it's dinosaurs.
But it's a little bit of a dinosaur thriller, right? There are moments when they're just popping out of nowhere. So
yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, I had this realization the other day where I was like, oh my gosh, the Jurassic movies are sort of the only movies that are really showing dinosaurs and obviously human beings and dinosaurs coexisting. And it is this sort of like, what would happen? Well, a lot of people would get eaten is what would happen.
And let's talk about Tight Pants Pratt.
Oh, please.
Do we have any footage? My man loves some tight pants.
He's just
talk about a stunt.
He's got muscles.
Is it true? I like to think that your dad cast him in this movie? Because your dad, this is hysterical, sent out some tweet.
Yeah, well, that's a slight leap.
I went way leaping.
What happened was, it's not so far from the truth. So, we were hoping it was going to be Chris. I had been cast for a while, and they were trying to work out the schedule with the press for Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians. And it was looking like it may not work out for him to be able to shoot the movie. I didn't know this. My dad didn't know this. Chris and I met each other for the first time at an after party for the Golden Globes with my dad. And my dad was like, "Oh, I want to commemorate the moment and take a photograph." And then he ended up tweeting, here are the co-stars of the new Jurassic World meeting for the first time. And he called me and he was like, "Wow, I'm getting a lot of traction on this tweet, Bryce." And then a few hours later, he called me and he was like, "Okay, so I'm getting some calls from like news outlets. Was it not announced that Chris was going to be in this movie?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Oh gosh, I have to call everyone at Universal and apologize."
Ron Howard is the cutest, your dad. We're going to put up some TBT's pictures you put up in a little bit of him, and are so cute. And we're going to play a little putt-putt, okay?
Yes.
It's sink
Nice.
or drink time.
Here we go.
It's after these messages from your local station. We're coming, Blue. I love you, Blue. Isn't that from old school?
You're my boy.